Storks and Destinies? Yeah, there we go.
Storks and Destinies!
And I'm here with Crash, the Kid, and Ken. And today we're talking about cryptids.
Cryptids!
And no, we're not
Okay.
talking about crickets. Crickets.
Okay, okay. So let's get that generalized definition out for people that have no idea what cryptids is unless they search it through Google.
We're too lazy for that around here.
Yeah, so a cryptid is a creature that is presumed to exist, but we have no actual evidence of. Some are supernatural, some are not, and some actually turn out to be true and have become actual animals that we know of now.
Or people.
No.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, actually. You know what? I got an argumentative one for you on that one.
Okay.
So, Eaters of the Dead. If any of our viewers are familiar with that book, is actually a book that was created by the same guy who ironically did Jurassic Park and all those originals.
Michael Crichton?
Yes, Michael Crichton. Thank you. I was drawing a blank. Michael Crichton wrote a book called Eaters of the Dead, and it was actually supposed to be just a hobby of something of his from events that took place during the Old Norse and Northman tribe lore. There was a man who was Arabian. He was sent from his home to travel. He was a poet, and he was of nobility. So this man had never touched a sword or anything like that. You know, he wasn't a fighter.
Never touched a sword.
Get up, kid. Get up. Shut up. Anywho, he's traveling along, and by the will of what you could call the Fates, which was actually just an oracle for the Northmen.
Mm-hmm.
He casted bones one day. 13 warriors, and as our viewers would know, yes, the movie 13th Warrior is actually based off this book. However, if you read the book, there is more context and actual historical talk to it. 13 warriors were sent upon a land because there was disaster. In all of this series, it was recorded. There, you know, we all know the old Northman rules and lore and stuff like that. These guys are monsters of humanity. They're
Yeah.
big, they're mean, they're tough. Like virtually nothing could stand against them except nature itself. Well, have I got a story for you about a creature known as the Vendel. The Vendel was known and recorded as a being like a bear or some other horrid monster. They would only ever attack at night or when there's a deep fog rolling in. The Vendel also started the rumors of the fire serpent, or translated by the Arabian, a dragon. These things caused fear and panic in even the toughest Northmen. These things would strike so hard that by the time you would wake up, if you got a chance to wake up and was alive, you would see bodies decimated everywhere limbs just severed, torn, almost gnawed upon. Heads are always missing. And the trick is that you could combat these things, but even if you happen to down one, wound one, whatever, there would never be a body. There would never be anything left of these mysterious Vendel, these cave-driven monstrosity. Now, come to find out, and this is where my argument comes in place, Chapel. They actually were men. These mysterious supernatural beings were men. It was recorded by this Arabian that ended up surviving all of this, all of these encounters, learning the ways of being a Northman, how to wield a weapon, and combating against all of this. It was because of him that he found out that this cryptid, or this being that everyone was afraid of, was man itself. It was a very specific tribe of people that did live in like really, really deep caves. Like these people were virtually nocturnal, but they were equipped. They knew how to ride horses. They knew how to craft their own weaponry. They wore the pelts and skins of things they had cannibalized and killed. That's what gave them their ferocity. No one could find them because you couldn't just track them. They didn't realize that you could track them with a dog, like a bear. Because, I mean, let's face facts. You go to your, let's say you go home after a long voyage, and the first thing you see is not smoke, not nothing, just corpses everywhere. Flesh ripped apart, your floor is now painted with blood and bone and flesh. You didn't want to deal with this. No one did. So that's definitely my argument on that. That it's a cryptid could be of a human nature. It's just something that we wouldn't record in today's time because we have the technology that makes it actual existent.
Sounds like a Viking happy good time.
It was one of the most recorded things that the Vikings were truly afraid of. Like, they had no knowledge on this beast. Especially when the fireworm would emerge. All you would see from miles away is you'd start seeing this long, slithering-like fire. And turned out it was hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of these Vendel coming to just decimate on horseback with torches. They'd burn whole villages, cities to the ground. For no rhyme or reason, mind you. They did not... It wasn't for food, it wasn't for wealth. Like, they were truly primal. So.
That's pretty interesting. So, how do we want to do this? Who wants to go first with the cryptid?
I did mine, so.
Okay.
Well, I think Ken was first already, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I already did mine.
Who's gonna go next then?
Well, I mean, if we're covering cryptids, I'll cover, 1/2.
Do you want to cover one now, or?
Because they're both technically the same creature, so to speak, just in different parts of the world.
Okay.
And that would be the Loch Ness Monster, and one, which I'm not too far away from currently, the Lake Champlain Monster.
Okay, yeah.
Now, we all know the good old stories of Nessie over in Loch Ness. and all the crackpot conspiracy theorist bullshit that goes along with it. Now, scientists and researchers have all gathered data, have done countless voyages across Loch Ness, scoured the depths, searched every known cave system or underwater cave system in Loch Ness, and have all come to the same conclusion that that creature just doesn't exist.
Right.
That what people are seeing as this creature could not exist. Loch Ness doesn't support, or Loch Ness's ecosystem does not support something of that magnitude for it to feed on. So Loch Ness is just a myth at that point in the whole cryptid series. However, over here in the lovely states of the United States, the Lake Champlain monster has been proven to somewhat exist. They don't know exactly what the creature is. Some people describe it as something that looks just like Nessie, has a serpent-like head, has a long body, fins and flippers, and so goes into that. They're trying to do this. They've been trying to do the same that they've did over in Loch Ness and tried to scour where this creature lives to prove or disprove that its existence.
Okay.
Now, they've also gone with all the research into both creatures. They've gone into stating that this creature with a really long neck, serpent-like head, long body, they've determined that people are seeing what they classify as a plesiosaur.
Right.
Which is a creature from, I don't know what exact era of dinosaur that has supposedly been long since extinct.
Okay.
And that's just the whole mystery behind both, is if it is that creature, how the fuck has it, how did it escape the mass extinction? 2, how is it still surviving? Because both ecosystems they're stating that both ecosystems can't really support that type of creature.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if it is the only creature like that in those waters, how is it still alive?
That's true. But we can only assume so much from looking at bones, and having the fossils of a creature is not the same thing as having the creature there for you to dissect. So who's to say that we know what we're even talking about? Like, who's to say that that creature couldn't survive on the ecosystem, given that there's things about that creature that we don't know?
Well, I mean, I can make another argument about another creature, but that is not exactly a cryptid either.
I'm listening.
I'm still curious. Yeah.
Huh?
I'm still curious. What creature?
The megalodon shark.
Oh, the Meg. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Fair. Yeah, fair argument.
Because those same arguments are the same thing that are being made about the megalodon as they are being made about the creature that they classify as the Lake Champlain monster and Loch Ness monster.
No.
Is something that is supposed to have died millions of years ago, still surviving in today's world. Now, the difference between the megalodon and the Loch Ness and Lake Champlain monsters is you're looking for those two creatures specifically in lakes. And these lakes aren't exactly small by any means. Mm-hmm. And then you go into looking for the megalodon, you're looking in oceans for this creature and at depths that we haven't really fully reached, even with unmanned submersibles.
Okay.
So comparing the two ecosystems that way, our ocean life can definitely support the life of a megalodon over what they claim to be in the lakes for these two monsters. But yet again, we don't know what those two monsters ate or what those two creatures ate to begin with. We speculate that the Plesiosaurus was a avid fisherman, so they ate mostly fish. But I mean, yet again, like Chappell mentioned, we only have fossils of these creatures. We don't have a legitimate animal to dissect and learn about and try to understand how they operate, how they survive, what they eat, what they don't eat,
mm-hmm.
how they reproduce, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, because that's one of the biggest things about cryptids is how are they mating if there's only a handful of them?
Well, that's the thing is Loch Ness is only supposed to be Nessie herself, because that's why they've deemed her as a female. She's only supposed to be the only one in Loch Ness, and the one in Lake Champlain, they call him. They deemed it as a male. They call him Champ. Champ is supposed to be the only one there. So, is there some secret underground tunnel that we don't know about, like Middle Earth and or fucking Hollow Earth, and they just meet in the middle and part ways, or is there more than just one? And if there is more than just one and these creatures have died, why haven't we uncovered a body?
Well, I mean, the factor of a possibility anyways, if we're talking like that, about not finding a body, could be something based around, I mean, look at how many things do eat bone, flesh, everything else. It's not to say that if it did die, that there's a good chance that, especially with how deep it is, these things are under the water.
Yeah.
Something else could have definitely just made it its meal, and it just is now.
Well, I mean, I'll give you that one too, but considering the fact there are countless marine life in the ocean who devour coral and shit like that. And fun, interesting fact about that is their feces is the very sand that you're walking on a beach.
Yeah.
That's lovely. Thank you. Thank you for that knowledge. I'm so glad I'm stepping on poo.
Well, I mean, it's not just fish poo that you're stepping on. It is also erosion and, all the other scientific shit behind that. But that was just a little fun, interesting fact about that one. So, I mean, yeah, there are creatures who devour because coral is basically like bone and rock. So there are marine life that do eat that. So, I mean, yeah, if the fact that the so-and-so Plesiosaurus creature exists after the extinction, there could be something that does devour the bones of that animal after it dies. I mean, hell, great white sharks are known to just be the fucking raccoons of the ocean world because they'll eat practically anything, even if it's not really healthy for them.
Mm.
Right.
Yeah.
Chapel,
and
no, I'm right here.
Oh, okay.
And to go on further with that, the other shark that is about the same size of a great white, if not larger, the bull sharks are known to travel inward into fresh waters. So, and most of every single lake on this planet is at least connected to a river system.
This is true.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are explanations as to why, I'm just going to call them both the Loch Ness monsters. No one can find them, or find any remains of them. Then again, hell, they could also be reproducing and be cannibalistic in some way. So there's that.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, it's. I mean, spiders, mantises, other creatures such as that. I mean, when they mate, they cannibalize.
Okay.
Except for the seahorse. That thing's.
Oh yes, the
thing's
magical
horrifying.
seahorse.
Those are horrifying.
So I mean, that's my whole 1/2 cryptids is, a supposed dinosaur who escaped extinction, now lives in two separate spots in the world, both in lakes, and both people around those lakes have, quote unquote, spotted these creatures and made reports about it. And researchers and scientists have all gone to both locations. One, they say conclusively that they have no evidence in any way to support that type of life, and the other one, they're like, nah, it's a nice tourist attraction. So
Yeah.
So there's my cryptid.
Very nice. What about Crash? What do you got, buddy?
Oh, Crash!
I think Crash went to bed.
I think Crash crashed.
Yeah.
He might have crashed. Well,
Chapel, I guess
Chapel?
it's your turn.
I can do one. I can do one of my favorites. I heard about this when I was a kid. I always loved the story. I always loved the whole setting. The Jersey Devil. That's one of my favorite cryptids.
Oh,
really? The Jersey
yeah,
Devil?
I love the Jersey Devil.
funny enough, actually, not to steal your thunder, but you know what? They did an X-File on that show.
Yeah, they did.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they did an X-File on it. I remember being in school and we were doing reports on cryptids. And the
That's one of
Jersey
the
Devil was my report.
Yeah, that's actually still labeled one of the most realistic cryptids as to why it was added to the X-Files show, because there was a report on some stuff like that, of unexplained cases. So take it away, Chapel.
Okay. So, the Jersey Devil, also known as the Leeds Devil, is a creature from the South Jersey Pine Barrens. It is bipedal, has goat-like horns with a horse's head, bat-like wings that are leathery, small arms with clawed fingers, hooved feet, and a pointed tail. So,
It's the reason why it's called the Jersey Devil.
So apparently, this woman, who was about to have her 13th child, way back in the 1730s, said that something along the lines of, after having her 12th child, said something along the lines of, if I have another one, let it be a devil. And that's what happened when it came out.
So she's the mother of the Jersey Devil.
There's a bunch of reported sightings. and some not as, believable as others. There's one by Joseph Bonaparte, who is the older brother to Napoleon Bonaparte. And
I'm sorry, but I
yeah,
have to. Boner.
of course you did.
Yep.
It kind of just that just because of his name, it just kind of makes me be like, are you just trying to have your own thing because your brother's famous, or I don't know.
Fair.
But like it. Here's the thing. The first, like, okay, so the Jersey Devil or origin comes from like the 1730s, right? Joseph Bonaparte,
Okay.
his alleged sighting was in 1820, 100 years later. And then the next wave of sightings happens in the 1900s, 100 years after that.
So it's a pattern.
Yeah. So I think that if it's an actual thing, we'll get a bunch of sightings here in about 10 years of the Jersey Devil.
Are you going to be alive that long, old man?
God, I hope so. It's only 10 years. I'm not that old.
Well, that would definitely be interesting. Definitely makes you wonder how many people are going to be searching.
Oh, that's the thing, is the Jersey Devil has been widely searched as well because it's drawn so much fascination.
Yeah.
You've got this weird ass looking creature, and this goes right into something that where we were just doing our last episode, the missing 411. People have gone missing due to this creature. Like, this creature has come out of nowhere, snatched them up, and took off.
That would be interesting. I kind of want to see if I could find some stuff on the Jersey Devil. But other than him,
right now, the Jersey Devil is got 13 sightings in New Jersey. So
for this year,
yep.
Huh, impressive. I may have to look into those. So let's see.
Along with the folklore that it's got, the full name is Jersey Devil, alias Leeds Devil. Local folklore from New Jersey. It is a cryptid. Its powers and skills are flight, claws, teeth, immortality, and durability. Hobby that they got listed is killing its victims, possibly, and crimes is murder, presumably.
Well, that seems like if you're presuming it murders somebody, then like, can you really prove that? No, especially if you don't know if the creature itself exists.
That it's not been proven, and yes, like you're talking about, it does show up at least every 100 years. 1909, from January 26th to the 23rd, dozens of sightings were reported. And yes, X-Files is mentioned in that one as well. So we've got a very good cryptid that, is at least pulled off, a very special episode in a TV show.
So my next one that I want to talk about is the Beast of Bray Road, the Wisconsin Dogman.
Oh, shit. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're so done with this.
Dear Lord, not the... you want to do it? Let's do it.
Well, funny enough, one of the sightings that I was going to report on or talk about rather was a sighting from another truck driver.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that this thing was running at the same speed that he was, and he could like look at it eye to eye from where he was sitting at in his truck while he was driving down the road. He said the thing broke into, like, busted out his window and like reached in to grab him. And supposedly he had a gun in his glove box and managed to get a hold of it and shoot the thing.
Well, okay. I'll give a little history to it. It was allegedly first sighted back in 1936. In 1980, several alleged witnesses reported the beast had made contact with their vehicles, leaving long scratch marks down the doors and on the trunks of their vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
There's also been reports of animal mutilation in the area around Bray Road, livestock, deer, the general victims of some of our cryptids. And yeah, they're going off of the whole thing of a wolf-like creature that looks like a, kind of like a wolf, kind of like human, but
Mm-hmm.
so.
I mean, I don't know. I just thought it was a
No,
neat little
I
thing.
know. With that one, I mean, I have my disdain for that creature alone because that creature, it's tied into so many. Because in New Orleans or Louisiana, they call it the Rougarou.
Mm-hmm.
Native American folklore would call it a skinwalker.
Yeah.
Some people would mistake it for being a werewolf. In reality, it's more of a bipedal canine dogman. Now, I still, yet again, I don't discredit most of the cryptids that we come across that we know about. Hell, I'm a firm believer in a few things in this world that cannot be explained. I've witnessed a few things that cannot be explained.
Yeah. That's
But
fair.
yeah, as far as that goes, with the truck driver who's seen this, and when he stated that he was running at, I'm assuming posted speed, and well, I'm not sure if you all would know it, but Wyoming is a ratherly impressive large state, and the interstate systems run across that with the speed limit of being 75 miles an hour. And for most truck drivers, we're going to be doing anywhere between 70 to 80 miles an hour going across Wyoming. I've made that journey multiple times, so I know. And for a truck driver to sit there and tell you that this thing kept up with him going down the road at full speed, that's impressive on its own.
Yeah.
Considering the fact, I think the fastest recorded land animal would be the cheetah. And they top the cheetah out at around 70 miles an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
And the cheetah's on all fours. So for the beast of Bray Road to be on two legs and keeping up at 70 plus miles an hour, one, to me, is highly unlikely. Two, it would be impressive if I ever seen it. And I would also probably need to change my shorts.
Agreed.
Because I've been out, like I said, I've been a truck driver for 2 years now. And I've seen some shit out here that has freaked me out. And it's real life animals that do it. I mean, I'm pretty sure some of our listeners might know, but do you guys know how tall an elk is?
Yeah, elks are big.
Yet again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm at least 8 feet off the ground and I was coming through the area known as Four Corners one night, and I seen two not two full grown elk. I seen two, I would call them yearlings, standing on the side of the fucking road grazing, and they had their backside facing me, and by no joke, the height of these animals was quite literally close to the mirrors on my truck.
Yeah.
And that's like a good 6 fucking foot from the ground up. So for something the size that the driver was proclaiming to be the beast of Bray Road, that is terrifying to say the least. And I was terrified by two living animals that I know exist because I've seen them with my eyes. And multiple people have seen them, and other truck drivers have had the living daylight scared out of them by seeing. And the elk aren't really going to do anything to anyone other than, some serious damage if you hit them.
Yeah.
So seeing that in the middle of the night, holy shit.
No, I'm right there with you, man. Yeah. No, it's impressive, some of the stuff that's going on.
I
Some of the
mean,
stuff that's
along with
happened.
that, with the Beast of Bray Road, there is another, I wouldn't call it a cryptid, but there is a old truck driver lore that has made its way into a movie,
Large
Mhm.
Marge.
and that would be the Black Dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, no Large Marge?
No large Marge.
Okay.
I mean, hell, since we're doing a cryptid episode and Crash is still apparently crashed out, we got to cover at least the world favorite cryptid in this one.
You mean the duck? The duck?
Not the duck.
Sad day.
You mean
The
the
Sasquatch.
Sasquatch.
The Sasquatch, Bigfoot, whatever the hell you want to call him.
Oh yeah.
Don't touch his jerky. He'll fuck you up.
He will. He will mess you up over that jerky.
I mean, do you blame him?
It's good jerky.
It is good jerky.
No, I mean, yeah. So with the Sasquatch, there's been multiple people who have gone out in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the forest of all places, tried making calls, tried this, tried that, doing anything and everything to get a sighting.
Mhm.
And multiple people have come back with what they claim to be Sasquatch scat. Multiple people have came back with plaster castings of foot indentations in the ground. I just got this whole thing. Now, I'm not going to say that the Sasquatch doesn't exist, but
Mhm.
my whole question behind this is because some of the scientists want to claim that the Sasquatch is the missing link in between our evolutionary chain from simian to human. How does that work?
I mean, I don't know.
Because the eyewitness sightings of this creature says that this creature is like 8, 9, 10, 11 feet tall. So if you take and look at an evolutionary chain of a creature and you want to say that we evolved from, what was it, chimpanzees?
Something like that, yeah.
how the fuck did we have a? Where does the 10-foot creature come from in that gap? How do you go from something that's like 3-4 foot tall to us now, and somehow we lose? The missing link is the fucking Sasquatch.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, that makes no sense to me. Now, that creature existing on its own and on a different evolutionary chain, that would make more sense. But trying to tie it to us as human beings, and I mean, we do have some very dense forestry still left in this world, so yeah, the creature's not going to be exactly easily found if it wants to be found at all.
Yeah.
They can't say that we don't have the wildlife to support its dietary habits because, I mean, it's an omnivore. It eats both plant and fucking animal. If there are multiple of them, they do know how to stay well hidden. They can reproduce. Yet again, for most Sasquatches, they tend to live in a dense forest, but also reside within caves. So if a creature like that resides in caves, you're not going to find remains, because if it lives in a cave system, it could more than likely just die in a cave system.
Right.
And if it gets attacked by a bear or something, hell, the bear, the wolves, and all the other scavengers out there, they're just gonna fucking scatter the bones.
I don't know. It does seem odd because you can find like the dead bodies of deer, prey animals, predator animals, and stuff like that, but we never find anything from a Bigfoot.
He's got his own toilet.
I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about dead bodies from a Bigfoot.
Oh. My bad. I knew that.
No, well, I mean, yeah, I get that. That, we don't find the bodies.
Yeah.
But there's at least a half a dozen explanations as to why we never find the bodies. They could be like the elephants or the mammoths and shit like that, and have a designated area that they travel to die.
That's true. I didn't think about that, but yeah, you got a point there. It could also be that if the Bigfoot is as intelligent as we believe it to be, it has its own civilization and they just bury their dead.
True. I mean, the sightings that people have said that these animals have fucking, thrown boulder-sized rocks at people just to scare them away. Video footage of, of their young playing in treetops and shit like that. So if the Sasquatch is as intelligent as we're deeming it to be, that it's not just some mindless animal out here preying upon whatever it decides to prey on, and there's multiple ways for it to make sure that the remains of their community is never found.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I know that I've enjoyed this talk in our podcast today. I hope everybody listening has enjoyed it too.
So I mean, we've covered human cryptid, thanks to Ken. My cryptids, which are, I don't know, fucking marine life, possible dinosaurs, the Jersey Devil, the Beast of Bray Road, and now Sasquatches.
Yeah.
Kind of makes you think. I mean, we have scientists, we have researchers, we have people that believe this, we have people that believe that. Makes you really think about all the not even just cryptids. I mean, even over in the Amazon, we're discovering creatures that we had no idea even existed to this day. We're discovering new plant life. And it's not really new plant life, it's the shit that's been around for thousands of years. So the possibility of these creatures actually existing, a really good or a really good chance.
Pretty high.
I'm not going to sit here and go, as far as
Yeah.
a few people and waste millions of dollars trying to find this creature, because honestly, some of these cryptids, if I actually did discover one or see one, I said it before, I'll say it again, I would more than likely have to change my shorts, because it would terrify the living fuck out of me.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
The Sasquatch alone being this hulking 8, 9, 10-foot tall ape-like creature, not exactly something I want to run across in the middle of the day, middle of the night, anytime.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, I don't want to fucking run across a damn bear, let alone be it a black bear, grizzly bear, Kodiak, anything. I don't want. I've seen wolves, and I've been happy that they've kept their distance from me, and I've kept my distance from them. I've had a wolf run across the road in front of me. I've had coyote run across the road in front of me. I've seen foxes and everything else. Typical normal wildlife being out here on the road.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and the predator wildlife, I've been happy that, they've kept their distance and I've kept mine. So, creatures like the lake monsters, such as Loch Ness and Lake Champlain, or the Beast of Bray Road, the Sasquatch, if they do exist, you keep your distance, I'll keep mine. May our paths never cross.
Right. Yeah.
Literally.
But yeah, well, that's our time for today. I hope everybody had a wonderful time listening to us rant on about cryptids.
And just remember, guys, the most horrifying thing is Chapel in his undies.
Oh. Y'all have a good one.
You guys have a wonderful day.